What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more George Michael and his 1996 album Older. Thank you once again to Michaela for sending this CD. And we are up to the tune It Doesn't Really Matter, though I did want to quickly mention the last George reaction, and today I'm not doing a Wham in tandem, though there are two Wham tracks from the Music from the Edge of Heaven album that I haven't yet reacted to. The first is the Wham Rap 86, which originally, as I think I mentioned when I zipped up the folder from Mr. Solo, for whatever reason that track and another one didn't rip correctly. I've since gone back and retrieved them, but I didn't know if the Wham Rap version on that album is significantly different from the one that I did go through. If it is, I will happily react to it. It didn't seem to be, anyone's favorite Wham tune, which I suppose I get, but ultimately I'm happy to go through it if it is, notably distinct from the earlier version. And the other track that's remaining is Last Christmas, which I do know that song. I've heard, I think, the original as well as covers of it, but I figure I'll wait a few months and do that one during the Christmas season. It might even be a nice way to kick off the Christmas season in a few months. So yes, ultimately that's why I haven't done tandems, Wham and George the last couple times around. In any case, as I said, the next tune here is It Doesn't Really Matter, which, I don't know, my brain went two different directions when I saw the title. I feel like it could be someone who's resigned, someone who's just accepting that circumstances can't be changed, and no matter what characteristic or interaction or attribute is being discussed, it doesn't have enough to alter things or to be of significant importance just because things are the way they are, so it doesn't really matter. And in that sense it sounds a bit melancholic, at the very least resigned to some situation which otherwise might be desirable to change, but which simply is not possible. But the other thought I had is you don't need to know why or how something is the case. It doesn't really matter. The only thing that matters is that it is this way. So that could be more positive. Now, a lot of George's songs, certainly I've heard him write lyrics in different directions or on different scales, personal relationships, a lot of that, but also making social and cultural observations. But ultimately, I'm inclined to see this as related to a romantic relationship, current or past maybe, and again, maybe it'll have meanings that are beyond or not related to either of those possibilities. But yes, if it is in relation to an interpersonal or intimate relationship, and it is related to one of those meanings, obviously those would be going in different directions, because if it's it doesn't matter how or why, just that it is, that sounds more positive and hopeful, whereas it doesn't really matter because, look, we can't alter it, things are just the way they are, and that's it. That sounds a bit more melancholy or defeatist. So in any case, let's give it a listen, see what I can catch. This is George Michael. The track is It Doesn't Really Matter, and it's from his 1996 album Older.
It doesn't really matter that I love you, how many reasons call. It doesn't really matter at all. It doesn't matter that I failed to break down your father's wall. It really doesn't matter at all. Tell me you don't understand when you do. I thought I had something to say, but it really doesn't matter at all, yeah. It really doesn't matter at all, yeah. It really doesn't matter at all, yeah. It really doesn't matter. I changed my name to the real other things that I want from you. It's strange, but
lovely and smooth tune. It was like down-tempo ambient jazz from some other dimension where everything is soft and graceful and tender and tranquil. And George's vocal performance I especially love because it was very tender, very gentle, very breathy even. So it's like he's just kind of whispering or talking right next to you calmly. And yet, like my thoughts on what was happening vocally shifted. Like at first, it was like, oh, it really is like he's saying, it doesn't matter how or why I love you, just that I do. But then as it went on, I was feeling it was more the other thought I had, the idea of we can't change things, the past, there's nothing we can do about it. We've gone back and forth like forever, like over and over again, and we'll forever be at an impasse, or we have different views, or we blame each other, and there's nothing we can do to change that. And I'm too old for this. But then there's also like continuity and a little cheeky side reference, like almost like in the same rhythm as that song. In the moment I'm forgetting by whom, but there's always something there to remind me. I think it was like there's always somebody there to remind me. So maybe it's not like a direct, like you hear a song or you see a place that you went. It's like, oh, it's like suddenly my brain is back in the past and like my emotions are back in the past. But other people maybe remind you of this person, and thus like, you're always one comparison or similarity away from all these feelings and emotions flooding back. But it's interesting, and that line, I love that line, very poetic. Like, what was it? Time is a thief. So whether it's taking away your youth or taking away your feeling, or ultimately sapping you of the emotion that you had just by sheer distance. I thought that was a very creative line, a very like poetic line. But yeah, so it sounds like there's been a significant period of time as he's singing in the present relative to what had gone before. And I don't know whether he's kind of singing to himself about this other person. And indeed, like maybe this is perhaps built off something autobiographical, but it feels like some of the lines could be applied in different ways. So yeah, I don't quite know how to take it, but it does sound, I think, melancholic, but also accepting, also like not even necessarily resigned in a really sad way, but like resigned in that, like, look, this was a chapter, this was a phase, no matter how much time passes, it might always be there, but I'm too old to, do the what if game. I'm too old to sort of, try to recapture that feeling. It's just, it doesn't really matter. It's past. It's something that I'll always carry. But here we are. We can't change truth. We can't change reality. So, yeah, I feel like maybe it's somewhere between the two possibilities, and maybe not either of them specifically. But if I had to say, like, one was more headed in the direction of the song than the other, I would say it's the idea that we can't change anything. Nothing we can say or do will alter the dynamics of the situation. But again, I just love that soft, extra-dimensional ambient jazz stylings, which, again, there were some electric sounds, like these very bleepy or like almost computerish, but still soft and mellow melodic touches, but also some, I think, proper piano lines, and just this overall feeling of like a warm, rich sonic environment with a bit of a jazzy flair. So yeah, George's vocal performance was the most enjoyable thing. The sonic atmosphere was great. Lyrically, I'm not quite sure, but it sounds like there's some degree of acceptance, if not necessarily contentment. And yeah, just a really interesting tune. I look forward to hearing people comment. I think we're just about halfway. I think there's 11 tunes overall. And it looks like the next track is The Strangest Thing. So yeah, we'll look forward to that. Let me know what you think, and I will see you for that one. Peace.